Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we are discussing the Longines Heritage column wheel single push piece chronograph. You can see this gorgeous lacquer dial mono pusher chronograph and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this 41mm automatic winding column wheel mono pusher Longines chronograph. Now, the single push piece chronograph is one of a number of Longines watches that's received the impressive column wheel value 7750 modified expressly by ETA for Longines. So it's a visually striking watch that's evocative of first half 20th century Longines aviators timepieces, but at the same time, it is very much its own modern watch. It has a perfect wrist stance across the wrist, as you can see, of 49.3 millimeters, so it has a broad presence. It's not petite the way some vintage-inspired watches can be. It has a decent thickness as well, being 14 millimeters thick with a generously sloped curvature to its bezel. It will slide underneath a suit jacket cuff, so if you want to wear this watch with formal attire, guys, you're going to be just fine. Maybe not the dress sleeve beneath, but it will get underneath the suit jacket. Now, in terms of the actual dimensions across the wrist, lengthwise, so from hand to elbow, 9:3, it's a 41mm watch, but it does have a remarkably extended crown because the mono pusher for the column wheel chronograph is coaxial with the crown. For those who wish to accessorize, the lug spacing is 20mm. The watch has a substantial feel on the wrist. It's not overly light or overly heavy, but it doesn't have the unnerving lightness of some titanium pieces. This one's all stainless steel, and it's matched with a handsome and upscale alligator leather strap. Many aviators timepieces, especially those that retail for under $5,000 US, they often use calfskin, which is a perhaps more historically true but also less expensive and less durable alternative to alligator leather. Here we have rectangular scale alligator leather in a medium brown. You can see it has sheer cut flanks, and it has a semi-patina style contrasting stitch with a simple and traditionally inspired Longines wing motif pin buckle in steel. The case is all of high polish, and that shows its few but potent lines to good effect. You can see that the lugs themselves are double faceted, and so they have strong character lines. They have a volume and almost gem-like reflective quality that adds substantially to the aesthetic impact of the watch, and you'll note that the case band is defined by the sharp horizontal formed by the junction of mid-case and bezel, as well as the case back and the mid-case, and the case back has been slightly cup formed and slightly bowed inward to reduce the visual mass of the watch. When it's on the wrist, it actually looks a good deal thinner than it is. It nestles down, it's compact, it's handsome, it's elegant. It's one of the few sports watches that can be both robust and butch, if you will, but at the same time have a beautiful balance and elegant simplicity about them. And the same continues on the dial itself. Now, you'll know that the bezel is slightly tapered. It has a very slight conical section to ease the transition from the shear of the case flank to the dial itself. It's handsome, it's effective, and when you look at the watch in that head-on profile shot so common online, you'll note just how distinctly minimized the bezel is as a visual feature of the watch. Longines opened up the dial to make all that it possibly could of the 41mm diameter of this watch. It has a tachymeter scale outboard which can be used in conjunction with the chronograph to gauge the speed of an object over a standing kilometer, for example. And you'll note that everything is black on white printing for high contrast and easy recognition. You'll also note, if you were to hold the watch, and let's see if we can quite capture it on the camera. I can't quite because of the gloss reflectivity of the dial base, and it is a gloss and gleaming finish, I should add, hand polished. There is a slight amount of countersink to the sub-registers. They are at a different plane, and there's a nice stepped aperture for the date that transitions nicely from the plane of the dial down to the date disc, and because the date has been centrally located, it preserves the balance of the dial. All hands are blue, and you'll note that Longines sweats the details, including that gorgeous lollipop-style counterweight for the chronograph seconds hand and the delta-style index for the chronograph minutes display, distinct from the baton of the constant seconds. The watch has a mono-pusher-style chronograph operation, so once you stop it, you're committed to resetting it, so you better read it closely first. Turn the watch over, and you are looking at Longines caliber column wheel caliber, L2.800.4.23.2, 27 joules automatic winding, 54-hour power reserve. It's not an aquatic sports watch, 30 meters water resistant, but it has all of the underlying virtues of the Valjoux 7750, including robust automatic winding and general toughness. Plus, you'll note it's been modified with a column wheel so that it operates in the crisp and traditional fashion. It's a pleasure to see, it's a pleasure to hear, and it's a tactile pleasure to use. It does feature hacking seconds, so if you pull the crown, you will stop the seconds hand. You can synchronize to a known accurate reference time. It still has a robust unidirectional winding mechanism that's more efficient, I should clarify, than bidirectional. That's why I always point that out when I have a unidirectional winding system. In order to center the registers, however, there has been a little bit of a rotation of the movement such that a manual pusher adjuster on the flank replaces the conventional crown-operated quickset for the date. And of course, the watch beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour is what's known as a modern or high beat movement. You can see this handsome and evocative contemporary chronograph with vintage overtones and own it on our website.